Hey guys, we're going to do day 6 notes today. So here's our day 6 warm-up. It says solve the equation algebraically. And this is a square root equation. And hopefully you guys remember this from our last day of notes of day 5 is that we have to go ahead and the first step is to isolate the radical and what is underneath it. And so in order to do that, we're going to have to go ahead and subtract this x. And we end up with our square root of 2x minus 7 equal to negative x plus 5, or 5 minus x, doesn't matter. All right, I always like to write my x first. Okay. And now that this is isolated, we can go ahead and square both sides so that the square will cancel with the square root, leaving you with a 2x minus 7. Equal to, that needs to be expanded, so negative x plus 5 times itself, negative x plus 5. Okay, put that together however you are comfortable putting it together. Okay. The 2x minus 7 is just going to come down, and that'll be equal to a negative x times a negative x is a positive x squared. Okay? This is going to give me a minus 5x, and this is going to give me a minus 5x for a grand total of negative 10x. And 5 times 5 is 25. Again, I have a squared term, and I am most likely going to factor to find my two answers. So in order to factor, I must be equal to 0. And when I subtract those on over and add on over, I'm going to end up with x squared minus 12x. 25 and 7 is going to give me a plus 32, and I'm equal to 0 finally. Directions do not say anything about nearest tenth, nearest hundredth, or simplest radical form, so I'm going to assume that this is factorable. And so I'm going to multiply the 32 and at the same time add to negative 12. Again, if I can't find my numbers, maybe it isn't factorable and I could try quadratic formula to find my solutions. Okay. Or if you're 100% sure you're supposed to be factoring, you might have made a mistake. And that's the reason why you can't find your numbers. Okay. But if we think about it, 32, we're going to use 8 and 4. And to get a negative 12 out of 8 and 4, we're going to have to make them both negative. So that if I add negative 4 and negative 8, I get my negative 12. If I multiply them, I get my positive 32. Okay. And so because this is an easy trinomial, we're going to go ahead and factor it into x minus 8 and x minus 4, and we are equal to 0. Okay. That gives me a solution of positive 8 and a solution of positive 4. Okay. Hopefully you guys remember, though, that radical equations have what they call extraneous solutions that don't check into the original. And so we're going to have to make sure that these solutions can both stay. So in my calculator, I'm going to go ahead and type in the square root, and we're going to check 8 first. So 2 times 8 minus 7, arrow over so you're not underneath the radical, and add your x, which is 8 on this side. Okay. When you hit enter, you're going to get 11. Okay. Now we have to see if it's equal to the right-hand side, which the right-hand side is just a 5. And we can see that 11 is not equal to 5. And so our 8 answer is going to have to get rejected. Okay, that's an extraneous solution. So now we're going to go ahead and check our 4. So back to the left-hand side, we have 2 times 4 minus 7. Arrow over and add your x, which is 4 this time. Okay, and we're going to see if that's equal to the right-hand side, which is a 5. So when we type that left-hand side in our calculator and we get 5 and it's equal to 5, we can go ahead and say that x equals 4 is our solution that stays. Okay, all right, I will see you guys on day 6 notes.